Hey guys, today we'll talk about customer research and more specifically the tools and process that you can use in order to streamline the data flow and actually organize your work. For the people that already know about MomTest, please feel free to skip to the part that I'm start talking about the tools, but I will spend for the rest of you, hope around 1 minute to tell you a little bit about what is the MomTest in case that you don't know what is it. Back in the day, as a developer and a CTO, I was always having new ideas and I wanted to just go and build a product. That was one of my biggest mistakes because I was consistently failing to find product market fit and create a product that people are excited to use. At some point, I found the MomTest. This is a book that analyzes what is the right way to conduct customer research and create a simple and elegant framework on how to collect your data and how to understand your customer better. Okay, let's finally move to the point why we're here. I believe that the MomTest is really amazing, but I was struggling of what is the tools and the framework for me to use in order to actually implement the MomTest and be able to extract meaningful information from the potential clients. At this point, I have to mention that a big part of this workflow was created by other brilliant people. For example, everyone around the mind map, it comes from Tom Hudson. Something that is really important is to first break down your idea into beliefs, hunches, and actual questions that you will ask the final potential customer. Please focus on the tools and the flow instead of what is, for example, belief or hunch. What we have here is a really simple idea, project management for Web3. By the way, this is not a real idea. It's more like something that I was creating in order to show you guys. So some things don't even make sense. Some questions are really bad worded, etc., etc. It was more like a really quick way to show you what is this method. So from this idea, we always have to go to the beliefs. Some of the beliefs that you can have about this idea is that DAOs need to form individual teams around the project, or teams need an organization tool. And finally, people want to get paid for completing individual tasks. This is my personal beliefs. It doesn't matter at this point if it is true or not, because they will be proved or disproved by the customers during the research. The next step comes from Rob Bishop. The idea is really simple. We just have to assess for every one of the beliefs how sure or unsure we are about this belief. So for example, you can play that also as a game with your co-founder and try at the same time to say a number from 1 to 100 for how comfortable you are with this belief. For example, right now, I can say that a DAO needs to form individual teams. I believe I feel fairly comfortable with this, so 70. Teams, organization tools, yeah, I can say that like a 60, probably they need to. Or I can even put 65 because already in regular companies, they are doing that. So this is like my line of thinking. People to get paid for completing individual tasks. Now, this is like, I have no idea. And I never saw that before. This is a like more, let's say, Web3 kind of way. So I'm not really sure if this is the case, right? So I will put 40 here. Now, by doing that, I basically rank them of what is the one that I have to prove first and what is the one that I have to focus. So as you can see, I have to change and I have to put this 40, then 66, then 70. In order to show me that first, I have to focus on the 40. By the way, the tool that I'm using is Xmind. You can just download from the App Store or whatever. Now, let's go a little bit deeper. We have the idea, we have the beliefs. Now we go to the hunches or whatever. People want to get paid for completing individual tasks. Okay, let's go a little bit deeper. People want to get paid for their work. And at the same time, people believe that the best way to get paid is through finishing a specific task, whatever. Now, I will not go and read all of them to not waste your time, but this is, let's say for me, I would feel more comfortable to call them sub-beliefs. We go to something a little bit more specific. By the way, most of these mind maps are huge. Right now, I'm showing you a really small one. Like this is how a regular mind map that we are creating looks like, right? Finally, after you finish with the sub-beliefs, you go to the final phase, which is the actual questions, right? This is the mom type questions. You have to read the book to understand what I mean. that will be able to hopefully extract the information and prove your beliefs or disprove them, which is perfectly fine. Now let's go to the Notion, which is my main contribution to this flow. This is basically a way to organize your information. Here we have the customer research. In the customer research, we always have to have two pages. One page is the questions, and the other one is the customer conversation. The questions will be created based on the mind map. So here we will go from the bottom up. We will take all these questions one by one, and we have to copy them here. So here is every single question that we just created. Finally, here we have to write the Hans, what Hans this comes from. So we go this to this step. And also we have to write what is the belief, which is here. Also, we can write here who we need to ask. So this helps us to understand what is the market that we are trying to capture and what is the people that we are trying to find. At the same time, we have the customer conversations. Now for the customer conversations, it is the individual conversations that I have with my customers. I can write here the position, the company that they are in. Now for me, this is the most important part of the organization, so please pay attention at this point. For every one of your customers, while you're making the conversation, you have to go inside the page and you have to start writing about the conversation. Now, how this will look like? While you're talking to the customer, you need to look at your questions. So while you're discussing with your customer, you feel that, okay, the best question to ask after is what is your favorite way to organize your work? So what you can do is you can just right click, copy link, and you can just paste it here. Now, by pasting it here, you basically make a link between the two pages and you can start writing the answers of the client. Of course, multiple times you will have to go off topic, so you will be able to create your own questions real time and then analyze them. But you want to try sometimes to actually answer the questions that you have in order to be able to prove or disprove your beliefs. The final step, which I also believe that is really important, is to go back after the conversation and organize your work. How this will look like. Basically, let's say that you ask the client, tell me about the successful and unsuccessful, whatever. What you can do is, if you feel that this is an important answer, you just copy that, you go inside this question, and you are writing about it. So you say that at John Smith, so you say who said it, and then you just paste the answer. Now, for me, this is the most important part of the whole video for one simple reason. At the end of the day, you want to prove or disprove your belief. So by having this information under your questions, it is a really easy way for you to go and look at it after a week when you have a conversation with someone or when you have a new idea. So what you do is you say, oh, did I actually prove about if the DAOs need to form around individual teams? And then you can go to the questions and you can open them and see the answers that you have about. So this will help you. For example, here for this question, we have 3 answers from 3 different people, and we can see exactly who had the answer and what exactly is his story, which will help us have tangible results in order to feel comfortable with the hypothesis that we make. So that's it. This is like 40% of the information. So I don't want to spend more of your time. This is like the most important part. And it's actually 5 o'clock in the morning here. So I guess I have to end this video. But if you want to talk more about it, if you want to ask for like a new video or anything around it, please feel free to find me on Twitter. My handle is bluepanda_io, and we can make more discussion there of like, what do you think about the video? If I can help with anything else, or in general, ask me questions. Thank you, and I really appreciate your time.